You're just going to have to listen intently.
Beautiful day. They say in Carolina. And everybody is so good. You know, I won't know it. Now, these two young ladies here, all the way from Ireland. And then they here from Ireland. I said, children, can understand anything I say? Yeah. I'm Carolyn, Jeremy, and wife. Ireland girl from James Island. I don't know, across the bridge. James Island. As a little girl in the plantation with my daddy, grandfather knows, on my father's side. Because if you ask my mom where I got this thing from, she said, oh, not her. She's more like up country girl. Earhart, South Carolina, Bamberg, not that way. But dad was this way. So, you know, growing up and living around the plantation, of course, as a child, you pick up them things for talk like them, you know. And then when I came to school, kind of, you know, put it on the back burner, but it came up again. This in me, I guess it was for me to tell. And so, because when I would laugh at it now, when I was here at Avery, as a little girl going to school, you know, they would say, shh, don't speak like that, you know, because they could tell, hey, that Gullah Geechee is my language. But now after I got grown, and they knew I became, I guess, kind of famous storyteller. My teacher, Miss McCarthy, when he was there, she would, you know, and so after got known and from school, and she called and said, we want you to come down to Avery, because we have some visitors from Scotland and overseas and all like that, and we would like for you to come and speak some Gullah story for them. I said, oh, do say, I don't want me to come now for talking. And when I've been there, I would tell them, say, hush, don't talk like that. And she would fall dead laughing about that. But then, like I said, it must be was a gift that was supposed to come forward and not, you know, press it. So I'd go all around telling stories, and especially when I was young playing organ for my church on James Island, and we would go to New York, you know. And I'd tell stories all night on the bus. Riding on the bus and everything I can remember. Everybody wake and laugh before we get to New York. So it just got around like that, and I said, well, I'll tell it. So I heard a story once with telling Madam, you know, the plantation. Yeah, when you grow up, you know, like 100 gals don't grow up. That means you grow up. You're grown now, there's an owner. There's an owner. Where's my little, like this, you know, little lead gal. Now we still consider you as lead gal. That means not a girl, you're a girl. Grow up, you ain't got nothing to do with size, but you're bigger now and you can go up on your own. So you know them gals are tired working on that farm now. Picking up potato, ice potato, I don't know what that is. Yeah, picking up ice potatoes, white potatoes. More like where they're from, out of ice potatoes. And so they got tired to look at ice potato and ice sweet potato. So they figured they'd go to New York, you know, their gals go back there a long time, get the seafood or something in Jacksonville. Yeah, they stay in, you know, serve food just. That was all those, you know, people that couldn't get you see at that time. And so they gone to New York and been there for a while. Then they get enough money to come back home, or come to New York, you know. And they come back all proper now. So that's what Buckle me is white man. And usually that's the man who owned the plantation. Well, Buckle didn't mind because he could work plenty. So man had enough of children. And then back then you had to go to church now. Oh yeah, you can. What? When you see Sunday morning coming, that thing's still in me. Get up, get ready, go to church. And so that was a good way now for the boy to meet the gal, you see. Talk to a while after preaching. Yeah. Then when they get good, Rev say hi. Good day. The boy, you know, nuts the gal. You say, yeah, you know, couldn't met with anybody, no. That time you had to go in and knock on the door. I asked Pat if you could come in to see the garage. Who there? And you go in there and ask for you. I was certain that time we need to shove outside. Because Pat might give him a task, and sometimes Pat, before you could see the garage, you had to cut down a big old tree. Then sometime after you cut down the tree, you might say no. But he say, Gal, he said, I want you to sweeten up your back while Honey there out in that cotton field tomorrow. She would take it, okay. So she goes out in the field and help Pat pick. Good. Got up the nerve. Pat, and he said, fella down to the church, he said, well, come to see me. He said, don't be so hard on him, yeah? Pat looked at the gal, said, Gal, he said, what that boy name is, boy? What that boy name is? She said, oh, Pat, you know Hezekiah. Pat said, well, oh, no, gal. Hezekiah can't come to see no you. She said, how come? He said, that be a half bubble. Oh. He said, well, don't tell me. Oh. I'll tell you later what a half bubble is. Yeah, but don't tell me. Yeah. So anyway, he said, and she know in Gullah, he said, all boom, you'll get all right. When he said, you won't let her heal, you'll be all right. But time go by, and another good-looking fella come to that same church, man. Fall deeply in love with that pretty gal. He said, I know I got to come to ask for you, but I want to take your hand in marriage. Now it's sweet potato planting time now, And somehow I think sweet potatoes just come out of the Bible and baby. But you got to work for them to slip them vine. And then sometimes Pat tell you put something in the bank, and there ain't no Wells Fargo bank. In the tater bank, you have that in there for the winter time. Well, she was in the field helping Pat slip them vine, and she was really in love. Pat, the fella coming to ask for the hand in marriage. Don't be so hard on him, yeah? Don't be so hard on him, yeah? Pat didn't say nothing right off. But further down the field slipping them vines, Pat said, who that boy mama is? Who and mama is? He said, oh, Pat, you know, Miss Mary Jane's son. Praise God, Pat almost had a stroke. Pat said, no, gal, Mary Jane boy can't marry, no, you, she was bothered. She said, how come? She said, that's be a half mama too. But don't be. She just gets her own good. Well, she went home, that's nice. Yeah, cry. Boy, cry.
She picked the right one.
Now I said, yeah, now I don't need to run, you see. Now I said, gal, I said, what's wrong with you? You eat too much raw tail? He said, you got the colic? He said, no, man. See, every boy who walked up and see me, they ain't got colic. I said, that's my house. She tell me the whole story. I said, girl, I said, you love that boy? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, I tell you one thing. She said, come on now. She said, get your wedding dress ready. And in them days, girls used to sew their frock. Sew their frock. How from the island, they know how to sew and make things. The guy Henry had to watch your grandma and make baskets and stuff. We can make it, get the material and make it. Say, get your wedding dress ready. Say, because we're going to have a big wedding on this year plantation. And on Michael's plantation, stop down Pat and lay, that's what they do. You lay you have time for the wedding, I'll bury you there. Take a little time for that. So, but anyway, I always tell them, say, get your thing ready. I say, by the way, send word now down to John's Island, tell them, come on. Send word over to Eddie's store, we got family over there. And say, don't forget now, we got family in Mount Pleasant too. We got a preacher brother over there, tell him to come do the wedding. And named Lanza. She stopped crying. She said, but man, you ain't Yahweh. I said, well, I tell you. Master Gally said, you listen to what I say. Say, if you love him, you marry him. Say, because one thing Pat won't do, you into him child know how. in those times, sheep and pack had been stored off, you know. Yeah, they sell them from one plantation to the other. And you imagine from Woon Hall to Treatment Hall in them days, that was a long way. And so evidently something passed over to another family. You understand? It was distant because he was sold, couldn't come back. So different family. So that's why I tell a lot of people, mine now, a lot of we is half sisters and brothers. Yeah. And people through the years have found that out too. Yeah, from one island to the next, say, oh, that's a half sister and a half brother. But you see, sometimes also we divide that family up like that. But the jokey part of the story, if you want to know something, go ask Pat. I don't know. And then the preacher was been down there on Eddie's store, got old, and so they need a new preacher to come. Yeah. So they bring in a young man, down there. Good looking, was a little younger than the one who been there. So he going on. Well, he was down there singing and showing, having a good time. Whoa, kumbaya, 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 Lord, kumbaya, kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. So now, when the doctor preaches, singing and yelling, Troy goes on, and worship and live still someone behind the phone. And they told Dixie, somebody stole my hat. Dixie over here? Say, well, I tell you something, Red. Say, tomorrow, say, you preach on the 10 Commandments. And when you get to die, should not steal. He say, you bear down on that. Bear down on that. We preach on that high, and you will get that hat back. Well, Sunday came, and Red was up there preaching and preaching. Thou should all do things right. Oh, how to take care of the sick over here. Oh, Lord, and he was going on and on. And he said, well, you say, well. Well. Oh, well.
Well.
Now,
Well.
should not. Well. Commit adultery. Well. Rev say, amen.
Amen.
And Rev sit down. So Deke called as soon as church out. Deke said, come here, come here. Then, Rev, when I tell you for bear down on thou shalt not steal, he said, you bear down on thou shalt not commit adultery, and you sat down. Rev said, Deke, said, I think I know where I left my hat at. So now when Rev would leave the church, Deke said, I hope him ain't been to my house. Thank God, I'm going to get audience from, and they enjoy it too, just like they use the laugh and to these young ladies, exchange students. So they're going to learn quite a bit about Charleston between now and when they'll learn something. I say, and they're studying history. And if they leave something out, you hold up your hand and say, well, what about the black folks? Ask them. If they leave that up the history class, raise your hand and ask them. See, I understand it was a rich black heritage here in Charleston. Can you tell us something about that? These are just some few things. Brenda Garner, and the necklace is from Ghana, the painted one. And then this one is a Zulu tribe with these. And this is Novella tribe in South Africa. This one is a lot of beads. Of course, get the fans come from Ghana. I got some pics here from Nigeria for your hair. This one is from Ghana. This is some Henry at Mount Pleasant. This is Mount Pleasant. It's the necklace.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. And of course the thumb piano. Yeah, thumb piano. And then I create the stuff. Make all the tribal necklace. The young girls, what I have, just a small one, I have two. Of course, I always carry my Sweetgrass Basketmaking and Madam in here. If I don't carry it with me, the stories don't come out right.
Ashe.
And then, of course, the Nigerian drum. I have a Nigerian daughter. Her name is Omola. Met her about 15 years now ago now. Was one of the sponsors for her to go. She wanted to go to college. She went to Denmark and finished biology major. I'm so proud of her.
That's beautiful.
Yes, I'm her American mom. God bless y'all now. And Miss Henrietta doing some weaving.
Yes.
And go over there and look, and you can learn a little something. Mind your finger now, because everything else, she can do it perfectly. But you try it. Y'all better hold that needle right. If you don't, you'll lift your nail off. She said, ooh, right.
Everybody can come and sit over here. Yes, ma'am.
My uncle went there many years ago and became a musician. Something clear.
My name is Henrietta Snipe, and I live on the other side of the street. She's on James Island, and I'm in Mount Pleasant. But we always connect somewhere when it comes to heritage. Sweetgrass Basket is a very, very old art, and it's an art that's handed down from mother to daughter, and it's passed down. This art came from West Africa, which is the Senegal area of Africa. When the slaves brought the knowledge and the skills of making baskets, they didn't have the materials when they got here what to make, but they just came and still remember that, okay, I'm never going to forget. I may not have what I need to work with, but I'm going to make it somehow. I'm going to find something somehow. And the materials that was around the area, I don't know if some of you have been to Bunal Plantation. If you get an opportunity, and sometimes when I go there to work and demonstrate, it brings chills. Because on that side where the slaves came in, these materials grew and still is, some of them is still in that area. State tree, which was named Palmetto State, is what we use as binding. What we do is we let the palmetto cure for about a week. We strip it down like this, because when you look at a palmetto tree, this is in the middle. This is the heart. We take the heart piece out, we slab it down like this. We take a tool like this, which is a spoon handle. 300 years ago, when the slaves were working on basket, they would kill the cow and save the rib bone to work with. Nothing was never thrown away. We was always taught that nothing is wasteful. You save everything that you can have to make it useful for something else. But, you know, we don't kill cows anymore. So we started out with a nail. We would pound the nail down, and the nail was flat, and that was used as a tool. We graduated from the nail. Now, old spoons and forks, this is what these are. We still call it a bone, for that traditional name. If you were taking my class, and I had a class here, it was fantastic the other night. Nice turnout. And here's one of my students. If you were here, each one of you would have one of these to work with. It's considered a bone. And this is like a needle. It acts like a needle and threading. And this is like a thread. Okay, so within that area of the plantation, the palmetto was in the tree where you cut the center out. And you take this tool, back then it was the bone on the plantation, to strip the palmetto. Now, I strip palmetto according to what I'm working with. If I'm going to make something real magnitude, then it will be stripped a little bit wider. I was sitting there listening to Miss Carolyn. This is just 1/2 of an earring. So you see how fine that is to make an earring. This is what you call a hoop earring, and then this is the solid. But this is 1/2. But everything that you make, you study it. If I'm going to make something small like earring, I'm going to strip the palmetto small. So this is palmetto. And the brown that I use is longleaf pine needle. All of this material grew right in that area at Bunal Plantation. And I use the pine needle. You can actually use the pine needle to start a basket, but I'll come back to that. We use bulrush, a very creek side is still there. You can feel the chills when you go there. This bulrush. Bulrush is actually found in the swamp. You got to get into the swamp. Take a sharp blade or knife and cut it. You cannot pull bulrush. Bulrush is abundance of bulrush, but you have to cut it. That's the bulrush. There are two kinds of sweetgrass. There is a finer element that grows right before the marsh, right before the marsh. And the element is very fine. And this one is more pliable and easy to bend. And my mother today, she still uses sweetgrass to start her basket. But see, I graduated from that, so I can use whatever I want to. So I use pine needle. But when I was in that era, I had to use what they told me that I had to use. The other part of the sweetgrass, and I think I have one there, is a little thicker, just a tad bit. Just a tad bit thicker. It's a thicker grass. And that grows the second dune that can go into the dune. It's the second dune before you get to the water. And that's a harder grass to use. Sweetgrass, we could get abundance of sweetgrass after the plantation and go anywhere, any island, James Island, any island, anywhere to pull sweetgrass. It's not like that anymore because of development. Development is taking over. People don't want you on their land. They got these beautiful condos and all of these resorts, and they don't want you out there to collect the materials. But a lot of men who goes to Florida, because the grass just doesn't grow here only. It grows anywhere on the coastal area. And in the winter, you can identify the flowers. Now, the flowers are being planted as ornamental now. You go to these beautiful homes. In the winter, you see these beautiful purple flowers. It is sweetgrass, and it's planted ornamental. If you are traveling down Lockwood Boulevard, nothing but sweetgrass. It's planted there. They tried to do an experimental planting on James Island at those little slave cabin area. And I was part of that group, and I told those botanists, I told everybody, biologists, I said the grass is not going to grow. So they must have had about 50 basket makers and people from all over trying to experimenting, transplanting the grass in that particular area. The grass grew, and it just wilted because of the soil. Even though they brought the soil in, but when you take something from that area and put it somewhere, Mother Nature is not meant to be that way. And so that was a big loss because they had a whole field day of planting that grass. It grew, but it died. And they never went back to try to figure out what was wrong with it. I was trying to explain to them, you cannot do it that way. I mean, you can transport it and put it there ornamental, but it will not grow for us to work with because it's not, plenished enough. The soil is not right. And so that part didn't follow through at all. But to say all of this is Mother Nature is a hard subject to deal with when it comes to natural stuff. But now we have a lot of men who go out to Georgia and Florida and they bring it back into the community and they sell it to the basket makers. Now, a lot of time they go to Florida or Georgia, and when they get there the next year, there's a big condo. Oh, yeah. There is nobody to call you up on the phone and say, hey, don't come this week. You drive that 8-9 hours trip, and when you get there, it's a resort or a condo. But basket makers always seem like there's always a way. There's always a way because now some of the men go right there to Hardyville, they get some of the sweetgrass, and they come back in. I do a lot of teaching. For me, it's real hard because I've been traveling for the last 25 years, going all over the world, telling people about the history and packing the sweetgrass. And I remember one time the people came to my house to pick up the box for me to ship to Ohio, and the grass and all of this, and I go into the post office and said, you got anything liquid or perishable? No. Grass sticking out of the box, but there was always a way. There's always a way. So I enjoy teaching this craft. I really do. And I don't see colors when I'm teaching this class. I see sharing. And a lot of them married into the family and learn how to do the art. This is a rewarding art to learn. It gives you some great feelings here. Because you're picking up a little bit of strands of grass. You stick one strand and look at all of this. This. And you make something and be creative.
I came up with the jewelry in the early 80s. You see a lot of basket makers are making it now. That's okay, because we represent the same culture. I don't feel bad that somebody is making this. It's like anything else. You can go to Bob Ellis or somebody else might have a shoe like Bob Ellis, but it will be a little bit pricey because you pay for what you get. And I tried to educate people on what to look for. What do you look for when you're looking at baskets? You see all the basket makers. God, I'm confused. Mary Sue got it for $20 and Betty Sue got it for $50. I think I'm gonna get that $20 from Mary Sue. Okay, Mary Sue basket is not considered a bad basket. No artist's work is bad. It's the best to their ability. What you look for when you buy a basket? You look for tight finish, and you want the coiling to be even. And when you're stripping the palmetto, try to be consistent on what you use, on how you use it. So you have palmetto here that is stripped wide, which I could have stripped this again and then get more use out of it. But it's the way how you were taught. It makes a difference. If you want to hurry up and do it for mass production, within 2 weeks or so, then it's not gonna, you can't even repair it because it was done fast and it's not bad, but it's the best that that person could do. It's never bad, it's just that the quality doesn't stand out to what that person could do. We used to have kids in our neighborhood where they want to go outside and play and they say, y'all grandmama always got y'all working on your basket. Y'all don't ever get out to play. We do get out to play, but we got to master that thing right. We had to learn how to do a lot of hard tasks. Master basket weaving, we have to learn how to clean, definitely learn how to cook, as you can tell. Never trust a real street cook. But anyway, it just makes you feel good when you can look back, and say, my grandmother taught me this, and this is how I really got back into basket. When I got old enough, honey, this sky was the limit. I want to get out of this fast. This was mandatory. When I got older, I said, I got to do something else. I got to go to work. I got to make some money. I got to get an education. And so when my grandmother got ill, I came back to this art, but I did it on a different challenge. I took photographs of my work, and I sent it to Columbia to the Arts Commission. I want to become a registered artist, not just a basket maker. And I never feel bad about the basket makers, because where they are now, they choose to want to be that, and it is history. But I choose to do things differently. I choose to teach. I choose to talk and share. Basket makers get very angry with me when I say, oh, you're teaching people how to do basket. Nobody can take this art. It's just sharing. Nobody can take it. And I feel honored that I can share it. Most of the people I share it with are my customers. And I go to schools, I do third graders and up. And they study South Carolina history. And so this year, I'm going to the first time that I can think for myself that I feel really appreciated. I'm going to Beach Hill, but it's going to be at another school. I've been to that school for 11 years. They managed to find money, they managed to find grants, and the parents managed to have me to come and teach at that school. I live in Mount Pleasant, and that's the home for the basket. How many schools I've been in Mount Pleasant? Uh-oh. Wow. That's a shame. They got money over there that they can pay for me to be there. They got plenty of money. But why aren't they capitalizing, keeping the art and sharing it right there? And Wando High School, I just got an email this week. This gentleman, I don't know this man, he sent me an email and said his wife passed away. And in memory of his wife, she wants a basket maker to come in and teach. She left money for that. To teach at this one school, high school, Wando High School. But that is the only school there, and we got a lot of elementary school in Mount Pleasant. So I say this, I love this art. Over here you see the different baskets in the generations of my work. Not many basket makers can say that they have 5 pieces of generation pieces. They make it and they just want to sell and they're not thinking it's history. The first one is my grandmother, and you can tell it's old by looking at the color. And that's when you tell, the aging is brown. And the next flat top is my mother. She's still alive, she's 85. She makes a basket feel like a piece of brick. And then the other one, I did my top a little different. one I made, and the one with the handle going over is my daughter. She was 14 when she did that. She's 39 now. And the last on the end is her daughter. I've got 2 other granddaughters, but they live in Virginia, so they don't get to do as much. But when they come for the summer, let's get to work in here. Coming on me now. All right. You just do it for 1 hour. Now they got theirs about this size, halfway. Not completed yet, but they're building it up. It's learning how to project what you... We know the cell phone and the iPad and all this stuff. Because when I take my other granddaughter somewhere to do a presentation, she's sitting down and snatch the phone. You can do that on your time. You ain't doing it on my time. You pay attention to what I'm saying and what I'm doing, because you might be doing the same thing that I'm doing. So there are different styles and different designs. And I'm grateful for the Avery Research Center to promote this white and I, because it ain't too many places are promoting African American studies and work and stuff like that. We put a program on here about 3 or 4 years ago called The Next Generation. And I'll never forget that. Hopefully you'll get it started again. Ms. Deborah Wright and Sheila, we had great support. And when we did that program, we had 17 or 20 children in that program. We put on a children display here.
Exhibition.
An exhibition. And we had over 250 people here in this room. Cave. And we're going to get it done again. We're going to do it again. Because if you don't pass it on, and I'm getting older, so who's going to do this? A lot of basket makers say, oh, I can't do it. That's too much work. You got to get the starter done. You got to do this. Well, hard work always pays off.
Exactly.
So I want to do it again because I'm getting older. And hopefully my daughter and my granddaughter, they might do it. You know, because when my grandmother was alive, I didn't, I got away from this real fast. But when she got ill, I came back. I came back in a different format. I look at it differently, and I start appreciating it a little bit more, and I just, every time I think about something, it just popped to me. They're going to have a mass exhibit here. My basket is going to be in here, and it's a mass. I got it in the car. I didn't bring it in because I need to add something else to it. You got to keep thinking. These baskets over here, those are a collection from my mom and myself and other family members. Last year I came up with this a long time ago, but I collect scarf, and this is the #1 selling item. It can be used, you can wear it like this, you can wear it like that. So many things, and I see a lot of young people, when she walk in and have a scarf on, I have seen so many young people with scarf on. So it's fashionable, and it just pops out. And I came up, like I said, I came up with the earring a long time ago. I got I make earrings, but I make earrings according to the person. She's a petite lady, like I am.
I got a big ear.
She's got a huge one. She's taller,
Like this one.
so she can wear it well. And so if she wants one, I would make it especially for her. I don't want to lay it on the table so we pick out what you want. That's not what artwork is about. You get what you want. You get what you want, either with painting or any other artwork. You get exactly what you want. And so when I collect the scarves have to reflect materials. This looks like bulrush. This looks like pine needles. And the light colors look like sweetgrass and pine needles. So when you get things, it has to have a reflection, and it has to pop out, and it has to have a meaning. Basket makers never count, never measure. And you wonder, how did they get this? Only time I measure it is somebody called me up and said, I have a casserole dish that I'm going to give for the wedding present. I got to get this plate to sit in, so when I give the present, it will sit in, and then I pull up my table. But it's in our head. My grandmother can look at something and say, oh, that's about an 8 inch. You can go ahead and fill it up now. You know, how do you know? You don't even have no measurement. Well, speaking of story, my mother, when she used to come to Charleston, it used to be 25 cents to catch a hacker. Back then it was a hacker. And it was 4 of us, and I'm the only girl. So she couldn't bring all of us into Charleston. That's a lot of money to pay for 4 kids back then. So what my mother did was took this strip of palmetto and measure all our feet to get shoes. And wrapped it up, went in the store and tell the man she wants shoes for all the kids, but skip the girl because don't give me the same shoes for her. But this is all they had for measurement. She used the palmetto strip, put it in her purse, came back. Didn't take us because that would be too much money to pay for all of us to go. She came back with the right size shoe. Mine was a little big, but this is what the means of making it work. You can make anything happen if you try. And my mother's still working on basket. Guess what? Her work and my work, all 5 of us, been to the Smithsonian.
All right.
3 times.
Yes, ma'am.
3 times. How many basket makers can say that they have 5 generations in their home? Don't take it lightly. Be proud. And I tell the basket makers, and I'm sure you all have witnessed this. When you go in the market, you take inventory. See who's going to smile and talk to you. They look down, and they don't look at you. Hold your head up. There's nothing down there. If you out there to sell and project good artists, you got to be able to talk and filter yourself out. You know, that's what it's all about. Because the person who's buying it feels proud that they're going to buy something from an artist that feels. You got to feel what you're wearing or have in your home. You know, it's not all wearable arts, but they can look back and say, do you know where I bought that from? It's Turner, and she was a lovely lady, blah, blah, blah. I bought that from Miss Henrietta Snipe. She's in the nursing home rocking in the chair now, but her work was outstanding. You know, I can remember that. And it's history. And so what you do is you give it to somebody in your family. You pass them down what you collected. Too many times that we don't collect art because we know anything about it. We just look at it, oh, well, I get that from Mama. I get it from Mama. But a good collectors know what they get. And start now. I know people look at the basket and say, oh, that costs too much money. But you have no idea. My first experience going out to collect sweetgrass, I went with my Uncle Joseph. I'll never forget this. Oh, I wanted to go. Big shot, got boots on, sprayed down insecticide. When we got out there, it was at Seabrook Island. I never forget that. We got on Seabrook Island, I got spray all over me, big old boots on, and when I got to, because there's a certain way you have to pull the grass. When you pull that grass from that little pod, 2 weeks in the summer, it grows right back. I went to pull it out, and I heard this noise. I dropped my bag. I dropped the grass I had in my hand, and I was running back to the pickup truck. And he said, where are you going? I said, I heard a snake. And he looked around. We laughed because it was just a rabbit. I've been back 1 time since then. So all of the sweetgrass that I preserve or get, I make sure I put my orders in early because I don't like collecting it. A sweetgrass and alligator loves this stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, because this is in the swamp. You got to get in the swamp now. You can't just like, oh, I'm just looking so pretty here. And go in there. No, you're going to have to be insecticide, smell like bug spray, like, get in that swamp and get it. And you have to do it. And when you come back and you put this together like this, everybody go, oh, it's so unique. It's odd, it's different. But all natural materials put together to show a lot of respect for your culture. And I hope in the next years or so, my children will pick up what I left off. You know, and that's what I tell the basket makers. You've got to teach the next generation. You got to want to share this art. It's not for us. We already know about it. So while you're sitting there with your head down, not talking to the people about your heritage, share. It's a wonderful thing to share. Wonderful. When I go in people's home and they got my basket, I feel so honored. You know, I did a table after Hurricane Hugo. You got my postcard? It's all my postcards. Please take a postcard. That table has been to the Smithsonian 3 times. And when it came back to South Carolina, it's in Mount Pleasant in the home of Timothy and Pearl Askew. African Americans who collected more than 300 baskets. Yes. They have a huge collection. And if you want to go see it, they'll be glad to open up the house so you can see their collection. It is beautiful. Beautiful. So I do appreciate you all coming here today. You know, because y'all made my day, you know. This, I love people. I like talking.
I do too.
Yeah, so we are a family. We share what we have. And when she was in my class this week, it was a joy to see all those folks from college being here and took my
We had a class here this
We
week.
had
26
people sitting right in this room taking my class. And they walked out here, everybody was wearing something.
All right, man.
Who wasn't wearing it is a gentleman made one this larger than mine. And he said he's just going to keep it and use it for a memento just to have. But anybody can learn how to do this. This is not hard. But anybody can teach it.
All right, man.
And somebody who's really willing to teach and share. And I'm always looking for new ideas. I travel all over the world. But I like being here sometime. I like to let people know what I've got going on here. I tell the people in my church, do your children know how to do basket weaving? This is our area. Well, you need to teach them. You know, you sitting here and your child about 10 years old and they ain't learned nothing yet. And my little granddaughter was 3 years old. Let her learn how to strip the palmetto. I told her, pull it from the stalk, take your tool. Even if she did it wrong, she had to learn. And if I'm going to make a basket now, then I go to the next size. I hit in the middle and strip the size that I want to work with. And then I take a pair of scissors. The only tool that they use is the scissors, but back then they used to use their teeth. I thought, oh God, no, I gotta get away from that. My grandmother never did, she did this and spit it out. I said, oh, no. I love you, Granny, but I know we're gonna have to graduate from teeth. So, and see, that makes the arrow point, and this acts as a needle. And when you make a basket, if you're starting with pine needle, you tie a knot. That's all you do. You never count. But when I taught it at the university in Ohio, oh, my students had their pad, man, they were out. Pine needles, 3. 1, 2, 3. Write it down. If that's one way of learning, then that's the way of learning. Because, you know, they always said, Miss Indiana, you need to make a book. Put it in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You take all of these strands, and pine needle is the only thing you soak in water. Every now and then you have to soak all that strip. And you twine. Once you put it in the water, it makes it pliable, so it won't break. So you tie a knot in the middle, basically in the middle. You can make a basket as large as that ceiling. Just don't start like this. You're going to take the tool, which is called a bone, and stick it in the middle. You turn the edge off the pine needle off. We take one piece of this palmetto strip, take it out, and we put it into that little slot. We pull it all the way. We want to cut to about 1 inch. This is what the kids said at the university, take it to 12, because they're listening to me. They said, take it to 12 o'clock. Take the palmetto leaf and you wrap it a couple of times. But when you wrap it, you have to leave a space, because that's the first stitch. And then you fold it to the knot, and you take your tool and you stick it on that knot, and it's really hard to see. My kids today, even my boys, they would do it, but they said, can you start it for me? They don't like starting it. And when I teach it in the school, I have to start it because it takes almost too long for like 100 kids to start. So, and I have a cousin that helps me when I have like 200 kids to work, and I have my cousin to do so. But see, when you look at those baskets every day, you wonder, how in the world did they put the handle? How did they do? But they have to start from this. And then bend the straw. Each time you bend, and that is the bottom. I'm going to give it to him because he's the youngest guy in the class. Oh. That's your little present. Yeah. And so, it's a wonderful craft to learn. You all can start from today. You can start a group. You live in certain areas, get together. Let's do a brown bag Saturday lunch. After 2 o'clock, we have some wine and cheese.
All right now.
Yeah. That's the part I like. But it's, like I said, I'm honored that you all came here today and continue to go to venues like this that talk about African American history. This is very important. When it's gone, everybody want to know about Philip Simmons now. Everybody want to know about him. But Mr. Simmons was recognized, and Ms. White and I, we both was recognized. But continue to do this for us. We need you guys. Without you, we won't be here. So continue to support all these programs and everything that's going on. Because you learn so much. You know, somebody might give you a basket, and you really didn't know that it started with pine needles. You don't know. I don't give these baskets to nobody unless they accept it. Give it to somebody that put it in the drawer somewhere. No way. I bought a basket from a yard sale for 25 cents. So if you see one at a garage sale,
Grab it.
Okay. Right. Because it's very valuable and it's gotten recognition. These baskets are in the White House. I sent one to the White House when Dr. Hussein went. I sent one there. These baskets are in the Vatican. So they are internationally known all over the world. And guess what? My basket just came back from Paris. It was in the windows of Howard. Wow. I left that in the car too. It was a huge basket. I left it in the car. huge basket, and it was in the Windows Apparel. They had a series of baskets. When they were talking about promoting South Carolina, CVB called me up and said, "Can you let us borrow some baskets?" And the basket maker, "You let them borrow your basket? They ain't buying that." I said, "It ain't about that. It ain't about that, because I don't know who in Paris will call me up on the phone and say, look, that basket I saw last year, I want it." So it's not all about just projecting things to get a buck, but it's to share and to be appreciated, and it will come. Trust me, it will come. It takes me a long time just to get an award from a school after all these years I've been doing this. And so I'm going to get this program is going to be Thursday at 6:30 in Somerville. And so I feel honored about that, because those kids, most of those kids that graduate from college now, they can come back and visit and say, "Oh, I got my basket." I see kids in the restaurants, "Oh, mommy, she taught us basket weaving." And you know, they don't even want to dinner. They, "When are you going to do another class?" It's about the next generation. It's about people, you know. So I feel honored. I feel honored that I can share this craft and talk about this craft. And I bought this basket just to say that I know what this person did was the best, but it's to actually tell people what to really look for as well. And if you buy one that's less expensive, you still collect the art, the artwork. And that's important. That's very, very important. And there's things that you want me to make or design. I do a lot of that too. So like I said, if she wants the earring, she probably wants it smaller, and I got to give it to her the way she wanted, or anybody, whatever anybody wants. And I remember this young lady here several years ago in the chum group in Mount Pleasant. I came and spoke to their group in Mount Pleasant. That was years ago. Years ago. But she remembers. See, that's what I'm saying. When people remember stuff, that's important.
Nice.
I hope I see y'all again.
Miss Henrietta and I have been many places together.
Yes, we have.
Denver a couple of times.
Oh, yes.
Colorado. It's very, very nice. I did get a award from Columbia.
Right.
State.
Yeah.
And that was a great honor.
And another person too, the quilter, Marlene.
Marlene.
Marlene and I have been up and down the road. We went to every university in Ohio in a week. We did a program. And Marlene she is a gem. Yeah, she's another one of ours.
Lady called me this week. That, when you were talking, I remember, asked me if I should come and the church wanted to put on a gala play. So she wanted me to come and teach the church the gala for the play. So I said, "Oh, I thought about that." I said, "Gracious God, that would take a long time to teach them children."
But you know, believe it or not, I think they can do it.
Yeah, I think they can do it.
They can do it. Because I did a play with the basket.
Yeah.
I went to Virginia and we put on a play with the basket. One lady was Sweetgrass, one person was bulrush, one was pine needle. And I told them what to do. I said, "Okay, you are pine needle, you got to tell them where you come from." And we did a little skit. And when we got to the bulrush, we had this guy on a crow sack with nothing out, just some tights on. And he had the bulrush, and he jumped on stage and said, "I'm on the bulrush." I go where the alligators go. And it was a good growing up, because they are the next generation, and they need to be taught. And I'm glad you brought it.
I'm glad you all
I'm
came.
glad you brought it. You're going to be pulling around all night tonight. I might go to bed with you tonight.
You know, it means a great when you're happy about your culture. And some people want to be ashamed of it.
Oh no, that's why I tell the basketball. I get so let up when I go in that market. I said, "You have your head down. You're selling your product, but you got your head down." They don't want to even talk to you. Like, okay, I just.
No, they don't. Which is why I'm appreciating you right now. I've been here 4 years. I'm coming out of Jamaican stock. But when I've gone through the market, and those who know me know, you see me in Charleston, I have cameras in my hand. Before I can even get, no, you can't take my picture. Hold up.
But I'll tell you another reason why some of them.
And I understand.
Some of them don't want their picture made because one lady did get exploited. Somebody came, and they haven't got beyond this. It happened 20 plus years ago. Someone came to Charleston, took pictures and put it in a magazine and made money.
Is that postcard?
No, the postcard, I think she got paid. This was a magazine, a book. And they made money from it and didn't. You know, I had problems too now. Don't get me wrong. I had somebody to videotape me. We sat down and we agreed on the video. But when the video was finished, they didn't want to comply with what we talked about. I said, "Well, you know, I got an attorney.
That's right.
Got an attorney, and that was it. That was history. But it's the way how you project yourself. You know, it is history. It's like grassroots. That's a beautiful DVD. I meant to tell you guys about that. If you don't have a basket, you can start by getting a DVD. Because then that has interview with different basket makers that agree to do things. Agree to talk about how they feel about the basket. But there have been times when that person got exploited really bad. But I tell people, I'm not there all the time. You want to take a picture of me? Okay, hold on a minute. Because if I see something, I take like a magazine with my name, I'm going to get on that phone and call one of them birds or Steinberg, somebody go. I want to hold your okay? So, but you know, if you're visiting Charleston, like these young ladies are from wherever, you might want to send a picture of what happened today to some friends. If you know, I went to this program and Henrietta Snipe, you're going to send it because you're sharing. That's what it is. It's different from sharing.
Yes.
You know when somebody is sharing or when somebody is.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody got the whole equipment trying to do all of this, you know something's about to go down. Something about to go down. But somebody just got a camera and wants to just photograph people and say, you know, just have it in your possession. You may not have a basket, but you got some information, you know, and that's okay with me. So, because people want to take it to show their grandmama or somebody, look what I did with Miss Snipe, and I want to take a picture with her. And that's history too. Yeah.
How would we find out if and when you offer classes for adults?
My email is on there. If you shoot me, I'll put y'all on my email list,
Okay.
and then I could tell you when I
Keep in
have one.
touch.
Because I'm eager to learn how to start.
You know what? Y'all can start right today. Y'all exchange number, y'all plan the program, and I'm here. You know, you could have it, we could have it wherever. I think I might be doing one in the spring at the Gullah Cuisine in Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant.
We're going to compose a Gullah lunch and a workshop where you come in and you work, and then you have a Gullah lunch, and then you go back to finish your basket. That would be
Get
fantastic.
my bone ready.
Yep, the bone is going to be ready, honey. It's going to be ready. And you choose your own bone. I have a whole lot of bones. And I had some people when they came there like, did you know they bought the bone because they felt like it was hungry? Okay, no problem. I'll see if I can do it. Back to the thrift shop.
Tell them about the old time bone.
I told them about the cow bone. Yeah, the cow bone. But it is a nice thing to learn though. Even if you collect it, it's nice to learn because you get to know that you get the feel of it. And it's not hard. Not hard. If you're left-handed, your work is going the opposite way. My cousin who's left-handed, that basket on the corner, even if you're looking at baskets and you don't know the difference between right and left-handed, the binding of a palmetto is on a slant. Yeah, that's it right there. It's on a slant. Each strip is a strip. Yeah, the strip is on a slant. Hours and hours of work.
Lefty did this.
Lefty. So I do thank you all.
Thank you.
Hang
So,
around.
to those people that want to get on our mailing list, if you didn't get this notice via email, please sign. There's a sign-in sheet over here, and just print it so I can.
Make it
We
out.
had him here a few weeks ago, Mr. Gordon.
Tell
So
them
just
about
go take a look at that.
Tell them about the
Make my customer
statue.
happy.
About the
I like that.
It's nice.
Grandma VC.
I can't think of it
Oh,
when I die.
yes, that's right. For those people
But you
that
show me
didn't
where while I look at you wear it.
get out of there Saturday, there's a Denmark VC monument that's been put up in
Yes.
Hampton Park.
Yes, I
So
told
you
you about
must go by and see that. We feel like that's vindication.
And it's just past the gazebo. You can't miss it.
Yes, that's the story. Some of my friends and tell what that means.
the story about how you get bacon.